So today we're just going to do a review of some two-step equations. This is actually a worksheet that you used last year in 7th grade, so it won't be anything too surprising. Now in 7th grade, we would use a hanger and we would pull off both sides when we first started. Okay, we're not going to use that here. We're just going to look at this equation and we're going to undo what we already have. So when I look at this equation, I have a 7v plus 3 equals 24. I want to get rid of the 3. It's kind of like you start with the thing that is connected that's furthest away from the variable but it's on the same side. So see how 3 is on the same side as the variable, but we're not going to deal with the number right by the variable until the end. So if I have a 3, I wanted to add the 0. So if I want this 3 to disappear, I'm going to add to make it go to 0. So 3 plus negative 3. Or if I have addition, I'm going to subtract. That works most of the time. Now, a lot of you were probably taught that you draw a line right where the equal sign is, and that is fine too. You don't have to, but if it makes it easier, then do it. Okay, and now we're just going to keep on going. So when I add a negative 3, notice that will drop out. Some people draw a line here. I am not one of those, but you're welcome to do that if it works for you. So now I have 7v is equal to 21. Now I have multiplication, 7 times v. So if I have multiplication, what's the opposite? Division, that's right. So I'm going to divide by 7. So I get v is equal to 3. Hopefully you remember that. Look at number 2. What do I want to start with? That's right, the 7. I have a 7, so I'm going to subtract the 7 from both sides. And again, if you want to make the little line right there, that is fine with me. So I get 30 is equal to 5k. Now I have multiplication, so what do? That's right, I divide by 5. So I get 6 is equal to k. So it doesn't matter where the stuff is. I always start with a number on the same side as the variable. Wherever that variable is, I'm going to start with that one. Oops. Look at number 4. On number 4, what number am I going to start with? That's right, the 3. I have to get rid of the 3. So if I have a 3, I'm going to subtract a 3 or add a negative 3. So I get negative 8p is equal to 26, right? Now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 8. Don't worry, you are going to get a fraction. So I get negative 26 over 8. I'm going to reduce that fraction down to lowest terms, dividing them both by 2, and I get negative 13 over 4. Now this is a fine and dandy answer, and you can leave it like that. Some of you have probably already done a decimal for this. The decimal for this would be 4 goes into 13, 12, 3 times, so negative 3 and 1/4, or negative 3.25. All of these are the correct answer for this problem. These two would be my favorites because when I have a fraction, if I'm solving an equation, I have to do something else that's kind of a pain. Hopefully you're remembering these. Oops, I keep doing that. Okay, let's look at number 8. And you're going to practice these, so I don't need to do every one. And when I come back, we'll maybe do some more together. Okay, so look at number 8. This is where it's a little tricky. Let's do 7 first. Look at number 7. I want to get rid of the 2. It's connected by subtraction. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add a 2 to both sides. So I get 9 is equal to 3c. Now I want to get rid of the 3. How is it connected to the c? It's connected by multiplication. So I'm going to divide it to get it apart. So I get 3 is equal to c. That's my answer. Look at number 8. What do I want to get rid of first? The 3. How is it connected? Subtraction. So I'm going to add. So I get 8p is equal to 20, 33, 132. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 8. And when I say sides, that's where some people draw a line. Okay, so I get p is equal to 4 because 32 divided by 4. Yes? Good. Now we can do lots more, but I think you get it. So let's look at what I want you to do for homework that goes along with these. Now the next page of notes we're just going to wait on, okay? So don't worry about those right now. If you want to for fun, you can. Because there's two, well, no, we are going to do a couple of these, just two. So there's two ways to do this. So one way that I can do it, and you might not remember this, but remember when you were in 7th grade math, we can just look at this as if we have 6 of all of these. So if we look at what's underneath this, and I'm going to do some stuff, if we look at what's here, pretend like that's a variable. So I have 6 times something. What am I going to do to solve? I'm going to divide both sides by 6. So I get x plus 2 is equal to 7. So if we just treat it like and not treat it, but this is 6 times something. So if I can just get rid of that 6 by dividing, then of course I have to get rid of the 2, so I subtract and I get x is equal to 5. That's one way to do it. The other way you do it is what's called distributive property, and I don't know if you remember this or not, so it doesn't hurt. Remember when we do distributive property, we're going to take this outside number times each of these inside ones. So 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 2 is 12. Now we want to get rid of the 12, so we're going to subtract 12 from both sides. And we get 6x is equal to 0. 1 from 4 is 30. Divide both sides by 6. And we get x is equal to 5. Okay, so you can do it whichever way you want. Both of them give us the same answer, so it really does not matter how you do it. Okay, let's look at number 2. So number 2, again, if I'm doing my 2 ways, my first way I can do is pretend like this, and not pretend. This is like a variable right here. So I have 2 times something. So I can divide both sides by 2 to begin with if I want to. And I get x minus 5, because that's what's underneath this squiggly part, is equal to 2. Then I add 5 to both sides, and I get x is equal to 7. The other way I can do it is I have distributive property. And I can distribute the 2 to both of these. So 2 times x is just 2x, and 2 times 5 is 10. Now I just solved this equation. I have subtract 10, so that means I'm going to add 10 to both sides. So 2x is equal to 14. I divide by 2, and I get x is equal to 7. Okay, hopefully some of this is coming back. Okay, so we could do lots more of these. For today, I'm not going to. I'm going to see if that all makes sense. Let's go to what I hope that you will do on this worksheet. So on this worksheet, those all look pretty good. If you do those problems, we can call it a day. Now, so I would like you to do these problems, 1 through 12. I'd like you to try them on your own first. Watch this video, then try these problems on your own first, and then you can work together. Okay? I'm going to stop there for today, and make sure that you make good choices and are good to the sub. Thank you.